apparently went out somewhere, and she was sleeping when he attacks her, and he pounds her several times in the face, and then he also tried to squeeze her neck. So there's evidence of all this. And the only reason that maybe she survived was because she was able to run out of the hotel room into the hallway. So this NBA player is now under arrest.
Tega,
And
I mean, are you talking about a UFC, a mixed martial art fighter? Maybe you're mixing it up. I think probably you should check again.
This is the most ridiculous story. So he's under arrest now. So we're waiting to see how this pans out. But it is such a horrible situation, and a lot of people are now calling the NBA out, because last season another player, Miles Bridges, also had a case of domestic violence. He was suspended for only a few games, and he was back on court. And so people are now calling out Adam Silver, who is the commissioner of the NBA, and saying, you know what, you're letting domestic violence slide. That's why this thing is happening. So we're waiting to see how this fallout will not just reflect on Kevin Porter Jr., but on what the NBA is going to do about domestic violence and their players. So that's the first hot gist on one end. But we'll also touch on what has happened in Germany. The German national team played the French national team yesterday. We'll talk about that. We'll also let's talk about Novak Djokovic. He got a hero's welcome in Serbia. Well deserved. Remember, Novak Djokovic won his 24th Grand Slam on Sunday. And so in Serbia, they lit up the Belgrade Tower with 24 and gold. I don't agree with the gold, but I agree with the celebration. You have to celebrate your great athletes, and that's what they did. So we'll touch on that. We'll touch on tennis a little bit. And then we'll round up what has happened so far all over the FIFA weekend. But before we do that, Omatseye, tell us, how can we be a part of the locker room?
3 times on Wednesday for you, Tega. Let's go. You can be part of the conversation by making sure you send all of your messages to any of the stories, reactions, to 0809-444-0981. That will be on WhatsApp messages also. Across the social media platform, you're sure to find us on Facebook, facebook.com/smooth981fm. And of course, on now X is at smooth981fm. And then there is also, we're streaming live on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/smooth981fm. That's where we are. Tega, you've got someone who sent in a message on X saying it wants to hear some things about tennis, Coco golf, and all that. But I'll get that to just get to it as we go on. But let's get into the story.
So let's start with the very first, with the headlines, and then we'll take it from there.
NFF mandates technical committee to open contract talks with Randy Waldrum as Simona Halep, 2-time Grand Slam champion, handed 4-year ban for doping, as Paul Pogba, Juventus midfielder, provisionally suspended after drug test. As it's a joke, Southgate criticizes treatment of England defender Harry Maguire. As Vola's Germany snapped losing run with a win over France. Then Spain and Italy step up chase of runaway Euro leaders, as Argentina without merciless Argentina cruise to win in Bolivia, as Lukaku shrugs off cobwebs to score twice as Belgium trash Estonia. And that will be the final story. So Tega, these are the stories.
Let's start with the NFF and the drama that is going on there.
The Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has mandated its technical committee to hold talks with Super Falcons head coach Randy Waldrum over a new contract. Waldrum's previous contract with the NFF expired after the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup.
Right. So a few days ago, we heard that, after the expiration of the of Randy Waldrum's contract, that he wasn't going to be hired, and they said something about hiring new staff. They're looking for a policeman. They're hiring new backroom staff, and all of that. That Randy Waldrum has moved on, only for us to hear 2 days later that the NFF is mandating its technical committee to speak with Randy Waldrum. So here, so went back to the original source that gave us the story about Randy's contract expiring. The person now said, but we didn't say we had sacked him. We just said his contract expired and we are hiring new backroom staff. We didn't say anything about his comeback. So what I suspect...
6.5 dozen.
Do you understand? 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. So what I do suspect is that a call came from somewhere. That's what I suspect. Because after that fight with
Tega.
After the fight with between the NFF and Randy Waldrum on social media, I suspect that they had it down that, look, this guy, after this World Cup, we are gone. And so there wasn't even a question of if he was going to continue when his contract expired. And by the way, he claims his contract expires in October, and not immediately after the World Cup. So there's still that. But the Super Falcons have a qualifier against Sao Tome and Principe on the 22nd of September, which is just next week.
Sao Tome again. Sao Tome again.
The women this time. And so the question was now about who was going to lead the girls into that match. And so if you are saying you are sacking Randy Waldrum now, would you be able to get a replacement in time for the match next week? That was the first question. But again, I also suspect that, yes, somebody must have been a call from above or got it up. And now they've mandated, that's the story, the NFF committee, technical committee to speak with him. So we're waiting to see how all of this drama unfolds. So one thing is certain, there's still going to be more drama coming out from this Wonder Waldrum NFF relationship, because it's not one. I think Randy wants a job, but under different circumstances, and the NFF do not want a different manager, but they don't have the right circumstances to get that manager.
Well, I can't get over the Sao Tome part of what you mentioned. And they say if a road is good, we walk in that direction twice again. So let's see.
But this time it's a different team. But let's see how it happens.
All right, Tega, let's get into some tennis action. And this one comes in now. Simona Halep, a two-time Grand Slam champion, handed 4-year ban for doping. The two-time Grand Slam champion Simona Halep was banned for 4 years following breaches of the tennis anti-doping program. An independent tribunal determined the 31-year-old Romanian had committed intentional anti-doping. Is this a case of Sharapova all over again?
No, that Sharapova was a little worse, and she got less time, which is what is tricky about the situation. So first of all, the Simona Halep situation is crazy. When they first flagged her, they flagged her biological passport, not necessarily the substance, which meant that how biological passport is. They would have looked at how your systems work over the years, and so if they see a spike or a sharp drop, then they can flag the biological passport. It's very different from outrightly catching you taking a substance. So the first thing that was flagged was her biological passport, and she wanted to get a hearing. She wanted to be able to defend herself, but they refused to give her hearing time after time. So you flagged her since 2022, and they refused to hear her case all that time. And she kept saying, you know what, we need to hear this case so that we can get to it, across to it. Eventually, they now hear the case and they now say, not only is the biological passport a question, that they found a banned substance that she was taking. So she came out with a statement that she did, after they had told her that with the hearing this year, she did actually find out that one of her nutrients was spiked with a banned substance. So that's a manufacturing problem. And so she's handled that with the manufacturing. But what it is that there is a situation with Simona Halep and the anti-doping body, and it seems a little beyond just doping, because now they're giving her a 4-year ban for something they've given other people an 18-month ban for.
Okay.
Yeah, do you understand? So
it's tricky.
It's a bit tricky.
They're not telling us everything, the details here. They just
what warranted this 4-year ban, because this is one of the harshest bans I've seen for this kind of situation. And so a lot of people are involved in it. The players' union are involved in it. Her lawyers are involved in it. Other independent governing bodies are looking at it and look, everything about her situation, everything about her case, seems a little extreme, that maybe there is more to it. So we're waiting to see how all of this turns out. But it did cause some drama on social media. After her ban was announced, Serena had tweeted something saying, "It sounds better." Now, if you remember, Simona Halep defeated Serena in 2019 in Wimbledon, which was going for her 8th Wimbledon title. And so when she tweeted, "It sounds better," without context, everybody just assumed that's what she was talking about. And they're like, "Oh, that's such an unsportsmanlike thing to do. That's such a thing in bad taste." I was like, perhaps maybe if she was tweeting about, the Grand Slams, she would have said 24 sounds better, because she's on 23 titles, and if she had won that Wimbledon, it would have been her 24th title.
Tega,
why did she?
You got 4 years, and she comes in to say 8 would have been better if she was. That's the interpretation.
This was all the way in 2019. You people drew this line. People drew this line all the way to 8 Wimbledon titles as opposed to 24 Grand Slam titles.
Yes.
Why didn't she? Yeah. So I look, again, I'm all for Twitter streets, and I'm all for social media banter, and I'm all for all that drama. But I'd also like to get some context before I make a categorical statement.
Yes.
Again. But there was drama on the social media. Like, you know how it is.
Yes. So before we close up on this tennis, there's a fan on Twitter who follows, and then
he was talking about Coco Golf. I don't know why he wants me to predict the future. She's had a great summer. That's all there is to it.
Thanks. Okay, so before we just got barely a minute to do this. Okay, let's see if we can run through Pogba now. Bad boy of Juve, midfielder provisionally suspended after drug test. That's what the story is.
They found out that there's a higher level of testosterone. Men produce it normally, but this was a doping level. Now I can't give many details to this because a lot of details haven't come out. But we have to understand that Drogba has been suffering from different injuries, and so we don't know what treatment was given to him to get him quickly back on the pitch. Okay. So I cannot speak as to whether this was an intentional form of doping, or this was a mistaken one, or this was some fault from somewhere. But what it is that they found that there was doping, and he's been provisionally suspended, which is a tough one for Pogba, because, like I said, struggling with injuries, and just when he looked clear to come back, there is this doping suspension. Also adding to the fact that Juventus are in serious financial crisis, and they've been looking for ways, to ship off all their highly paid players. So Drogba's situation has just put them in a nice place, because they can just say, "Oh, you were doping," and just drop him. So there's a lot of facets to this Drogba situation. It's not looking good, but wait to hear more details, because, like I said, I'm even surprised that a lot of footballers haven't fallen more to this doping. Because when you think about it, a footballer is injured, he has to get back on the pitch quickly. There's all sorts of treatments given to them, and we don't know which ones have pushed beyond legal. Okay. To get them back as quickly as possible.
Tega,
so I won't speak much until we get more information. Yeah, so we'll go on that quick break now. When we come back, we'll talk more about football and what happened in the qualifiers. Is that the break now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So I think I've got a message. If you want to go into that if you want, is that okay?
We'll take the message first.
Okay.
So that you get more, you take one or two messages first, and then you take it from me.
Okay, fine.
Who can stand with you always? So that pursue your dreams in life better, and it go better after 3 days if body no tranga. Go see doctor now. Now, Stamina Healthcare Limited will market her. Ibucap, always with you.
What does future forward banking mean to you? Speed, innovation, convenience, lifestyle goals, or just simply getting service that is designed just for you? Yeah, we thought you might like all of that and more. That is why we specially created Providus Bank for you to take care of your daily experiences. At Providus Bank, we believe that banking should be all about you and your business and how to get you to the next level. If you do not already have a Providus Bank account, please speak with our business concierge on 0700 77 684 387 or email businessconcierge@providusbank.com to switch to a future-forward banking experience. Providus Bank, future forward banking.
Anytime they are around, if they're much in power, so not pay for body, and from fever. Any kind of pain they bow, so people that's if you come on, then I'll get by me. Something for you. Something by me. Something for you. Who can stand to get back with you? Always. So that pursue your dreams to make life better. And it go better after 3 days if body no tranga. Go see doctor out. Now, Shamina Healthcare Limited with the market cap. Ibu cap. Always with you.
My name is Alpha. Grab a cup of coffee and chill. This is the smooth breakfast.
It is still the locker room on Smooth 98.1 FM, the 13th day of September 2023, and the Princess Tega Onojiafe joins me here. And let's get into a bit of message.
Let's take some message first. Some messages first.
All right, Tayo's here already, starting with us. NBA should borrow a leaf from Man United by suspending this player. Who's pressing neck between Waldrum and NFF, or are they massaging their ego? That's what he says. How do you allow yourself take banned substance without knowing? Then on the Pogba issue, he goes on to say Pogba has so many issues to contend with. He should have settled his native doctor before going to see his medicine doctor, because this setup is looking like his village people are holding a serious Pogba conference. Tega. Then Ibukun from Third Mainland Bridge comes. Hi, Tega and Omas. Isn't Simona supposed to be responsible for any supplement that she takes, or is it that the manufacturer didn't disclose the substance in the supplement? I agree that she hasn't been treated fairly. Ibukun from Third Mainland Bridge. One more.
Yeah. So that's an interesting take about the supplements and the nutrients.
Yes.
Because what it is that there are certain nutrients that people generally take, and if they have a history of taking that, they probably know that this is not in that supplement or that is not in that supplement. So if it was in that particular supplement, then maybe it wasn't supposed to be there, but that manufacturer puts it there. Because this woman has been clean, and this her doping test that she allegedly failed was in 2022. Prior to that, she's been clean all through, and I've done multiple tests. So again, which is why I say there's wiggle room for, benefit of doubt.
Yeah.
Not to say that she's not responsible for looking at that particular one, but I mean, if an athlete has been clean for most of her career, she's 31.
Yeah.
She was clean since she was 16, and then she decided at 31 that today is the day I'm going to take something. Again, you have to check all those nuances. We'll see how this case eventually turns out.
It's still unfolding. So with that, let's head to Spain. And Spain and Italy set up a chase for runaway Euro leaders. Spain crashed in six in Euro 2024 qualifying on Tuesday, while Belgium were also big winners as Italy revived their campaign, and Austria and Switzerland stayed on course for qualification.
All right, so huge, two big news. If remember that Spain is trying to catch up with Scotland in their group, which was shocking. Remember how when they brought in the new coach, Scotland still went on to defeat Spain, and it was a crazy one. But Spain is now getting back on track with 2 wins so far. Yesterday's win was even more emphatic by winning 6-0. But they're still behind Scotland. So Scotland is waiting. I think Scotland is just waiting for confirmation because Scotland is on 15 points, but they've played one game more. And even if Spain is on 9 points, and even if they do play their game in hand, they'd be on 12 points. So still 2 behind Scotland. Yeah. So Scotland looking a little safe so far, but wait to see the official confirmation. So Spain is right on their heels. But yesterday, the most important one was Italy. I remember Italy didn't go to the World Cup. It was North Macedonia that knocked them out. They still couldn't beat North Macedonia over the weekend. They drew that game 1-1, and they faced Ukraine yesterday. And yesterday was an important win. They faced Ukraine yesterday, but they also had key injuries. And so with the makeshift team that they were able to bring, and Spalletti just in his second game for the national side, it looked like a tough task. But it was made easy when they got a 2-goal lead early in the game. However, you know that Italy was always going to give something up, and Ukraine did get countless chances to not just level the game, but also maybe even get the winner. But they were able to score only one, put Italy under pressure before Italy now turned the game around and created their own couple of chances where they didn't score. So for the Italian side, I think what they're going to have to look out for is an out-and-out striker. And they have a league that is thriving and a league that has a few players, but some of the best strikers in the Italian Serie A are foreigners. Yeah, so if you talk about Lautaro Martinez playing for Argentina, if you talk about Victor Osimhen playing for Nigeria, if you talk about Romelu Lukaku playing for Belgium, their strikers, the strikers that you see that are standing out in Italian Serie A are not necessarily Italians. And so that's what they're going to have to look out for, an out-and-out striker, because if they can get that guy in, then maybe they can score a few of their chances. Ciro Immobile is not really doing the job that he was put there to do, and Keza, who plays from the wings anyway, to get into a striking position, is struggling with fitness. So it's a tough one for Spalletti and the Italian national side, but it was a good win for them to get yesterday, and it puts them back in the conversation for Euro 2024.
Now, touch on Vola's Germany snapping the losing run with a win over France.
I put this out yesterday, and somebody said, "Oh, it's new coach bounce." It's not every time a new coach comes in and the team wins doesn't mean it's a new coach bounce. Even the way the German national side played yesterday, usually you'd see them, press high up with the ball, try to get a goal, and then lose shape when the other team collects the ball. But yesterday was completely different, because they seemed a little more purposeful. They seem a little better in their structure and their shape. And they got this goal from Thomas Müller, was able to sustain it, I think, till the 85th minute when Antoine Griezmann put the ball in the back of the net. But they responded almost immediately with a goal from Leroy Sané. So it looks like, as much as you want to say new manager bounce, as much as you want to say the players are getting behind this new manager, even with the tactical shape and the tactical structure, they look very different from the Hansi Flick side. And hopefully we'll see more of this coming in. But that win was much needed. First of all, they haven't defeated France in 9 years. So to get that win in front of their home fans was a good one. Then to snap a losing run in recent time was also a good one. It put back that bounce and that belief in the German side. For considering the fact that they're the ones hosting the tournament and they're also known as a footballing powerhouse, they desperately needed this win. So wait to see how this pans out. Remember, Rudi Voller is just a standing coach. He may not be the manager in charge of the side come 2024.
But now let's let's look at this one from Gary Southgate saying it's a joke criticizing the treatment of England defender Maguire.
So I would say this. I think Gareth Southgate even put Maguire in the spotlight. I would say this. They were playing a friendly against Scotland. Maguire had already played for the England side in the qualifier. There was no need to put him in the match. So they bring Maguire up in the 46 minutes in the game. And then he scores an own goal in the 67th minute.
Hey.
I'm sorry, this dragging wrote itself. Because people are already questioning why Maguire, who isn't playing for his club side, is in your lineup. And then you put him right in front of the firing squad. You put the target on his back. And
Maguire he keeps giving the gift that keeps giving.
Exactly. He scores an own goal to bring Scotland back into the game. Everybody's going to criticize him. You made that happen. Because, sometimes I think that, a player is going through a bad patch. You managed to play a qualifier with him, and they didn't win that qualifier. Remember, they drew with Ukraine.
Yes.
They drew with Ukraine, and then they're playing a friendly against Scotland. It's a friendly. Try other people. But Southgate decided to put Maguire on the spot again. There was no need for it to substitute to him. And then Maguire
again. All right.
A goal is a goal, regardless of where it is scored. It's not a goal. And to be told, I do not appreciate because I worry about this guy's mental. Can you imagine if you're Harry Maguire and every time you step on the field to carry out your career, people will be. It's like I do not appreciate it for him, which is why I don't think Southgate should have played him. So now Southgate is mad.
He's a donor.
No. Now Southgate is mad at us because he's being criticized. No, you should be mad at yourself because you are the one that put him in the line of the firing squad.
Tega from Africa did not put him on the line.
Didn't put him there.
You didn't put him there.
I didn't put him there. I was sitting in Africa. I didn't put him there.
So take us to Argentina, Bolivia precisely, where the fans came out to celebrate Lionel Messi, and they were going to play a game against Argentina with the visitors. But look at it for us.
This is the thing I hate. I can imagine if I'm a fan and I bought tickets to see Lionel Messi play, and instead of me seeing Lionel Messi play, I'm seeing Lionel Messi on the bench clapping for his teammates. If I pay that kind of money, you have to play. I've seen it happen in the NBA. Some people will buy tickets to watch a star player, and then they will get to the court and hear that that's the star player's rest day. You pay me back my money. So you can imagine the Bolivia fans coming out. Messi has been making waves in America. Only for them he's been making waves in America. People are happy he won the World Cup. And he's now come back to Bolivia to play. And fans must have bought those tickets in particular to watch Messi. Only for Messi to spend 90 minutes on the bench. Are you serious? Messi will play for me at halftime because I paid good money. But Argentina got the result they needed. They won their game by 3-0. And the Argentine fans will be happy for the win, and they'll be happy for getting high up in the qualifier. However, they will not be excited about the fact that they didn't get to see Lionel Messi play. The Argentine fans and the Bolivian fans.
Tega, what would you gain if you would not mention Romelu Lukaku before you leave the locker room this morning?
Because he struggled in the summer all through. He struggled so much with transfers, which club wants him and which club doesn't want him. In fact, he was involved in the battle of the rejections. However, he eventually settled with Roma. Didn't have a good start to the season because they have just one win in 3 matches. But he was able to get on the scoring board for Belgium twice. So it's a good one. Hopefully he'll be able to carry that form back to Roma.
Hey guys, a fine place to wrap up the locker room this morning, but we've got a couple of messages waiting for you here. Tayo comes back. Southgate defending Lord. Maguire is not a surprise. Both of them aren't sure of their jobs in the near future. Brothers in army or solidarity to the unknown. Then finally, Bimbo from VI sums this one up. This is it. And that's why I was laughing while you were analyzing this story. It says, Maguire has something nude on Southgate. But anyway, Tega. There you go.
On him. He has to have something on him. Because why are you playing him? It's a friendly. Anyways, on that note, thank you for listening to Locker Room and thank you for sending in your messages. Hopefully we'll be able to do this again on Friday. Till then, Omar.
Well, thank you so much. Have a great day, Tega.
All right.
And that's a wrap inside the Locker Room. My name is Omatseye Atsenuwa. Good morning.